We know the four Brahma Vihara. Metta comes in a package of four. For metta to succeed, we have to have all the four. In my understanding, for people who begin with the Satipatthana, who begin with mindfulness practice, people who know their emotion, that is, people who have a good level of EQ, emotional intelligence. Those people, they will progress very quickly in metta. You will have seen in some meditation practices, they begin with metta and then they go to mindfulness. It's the other way around. Metta is just to quieten the mind, just to stabilize the mind up to a certain extent. And then they go to Satipatthana. Once they go to Satipatthana, they stop doing metta. So in some practices that I have come across, metta is not integrated into the Satipatthana, into mindfulness, not integrated, but is considered as separate by some of those practices, some of those methods. But here, I try to integrate the Satipatthana and the four Brahma Vihara. I try to integrate them. I think if we integrate them, they will be very useful in our daily life, in coping with stress, in social relationship, that one of the books from Oxford is called Managing Your Mind, the book that I showed yesterday. It talks about pro-sociality. It's a new word. Pro-sociality. I think this comes from the word antisocial. Some people, their behavior is antisocial. They don't want to connect with other people. So their behavior is detrimental to the society's harmony, also to their own happiness. So pro-sociality is considered to be a positive EQ quality. Pro-sociality. I think this set of meditation, this set of practice can help us do this. So mindfulness, please understand this in the context of the Satipatthana Sutta, the four foundations of mindfulness. We learn how the body and the mind relate to each other, how they are interdependent. When the body is tired, how the mind becomes grumpy. When the mind is exhausted, how physically we also become exhausted. So the relationship between the mind and the body. Once we know, ourselves through mindfulness up to that level, we can advance our mindfulness by incorporating the four Brahma Vihara. Here, in incorporating the four Brahma Vihara, I have only selected two, Karuna and Mudita, for this workshop. And usually this is what I do. Even in a 10 days retreat in Europe that I run every year, I only select these two, Karuna and Mudita. So there's a question of why not metta? Why not metta? So I come from Abhidhamma school. I made use of Abhidhamma knowledge here. So in the second chapter of Abhidhammatasanga, the text, the compendium of Abhidhamma, it says there are two limitless qualities of heart, two limitless emotional qualities. They are karuna and mudita. They are called apamanya. Apamanya means limitless, no limit. Meaning you can take on suffering, you can absorb suffering endlessly. Your own suffering, your friend's suffering, your family's suffering, the people who don't like you, you also, you can take their suffering without being burned out. Okay. Without collapsing yourself, without suffering. You are absorbing more and more of their suffering. Okay. But without suffering yourself. What's the quality that holds you up? It's this one, karuna and mudita. So the text says these two. Meaning, if we practice karuna and mudita together with mindfulness, three, okay? This one, and this one. If these three together, we get metta automatically. Why? Karuna focuses on pain, inconvenience, discomfort. Okay. All the downside experiences of life. Mudita focuses on the upside. The comfort, convenience, the joyful experiences. Two different focuses, two different objects, karuna and mudita. Then what about metta? What does metta focus on? Metta focuses on both of the pain and joy. So we can say metta is wider than karuna alone, wider than mudita alone. But metta is equal to karuna plus mudita. Now, in terms of meditation object, in terms of focus, in terms of what the mind is working on. Okay? I repeat again because this is a subtle point. Metta is equal to karuna and mudita. Half of metta's focuses belongs to karuna. The other half belongs to mudita. So if you have both karuna and mudita, you automatically have metta. So far, buy two, get one free. Commercial in Singapore. But when you do karuna, as I explained yesterday, when we come across discomfort, like you come across pain during the sitting, or in the office, you come across chatty people talking behind you. When you come across that, that's pain. You are encountering pain. You are at a crossroad then. There are two possibilities of reaction. One is anger. The other is compassion. With compassion, your brain is active in the area of hippocampus. With anger, your brain is active with amygdala, in the amygdala region. Hippocampus is new brain, whereas the amygdala is the old brain. So they are different in the brain. They are different in the mind. In order to see that you have actually turned right towards anger, mindfulness has to be there to detect that, to help you see that. So mindfulness has to come first, not metta first. Mindfulness has to come first. Mindfulness and then karuna. Habit, through habit, if you happen to turn right into irritation, frustration, disappointment, dislike, and then you need to fall back, you need to return to non-judgmental mindfulness. Return to that and work on that reaction, work on that habit. Just observe that, register, release, and return. If possible, try to see your anger as pain. Try to see your anger as suffering. Try to see your anger as a burden. As a burden. When you see that, it's likely that the mind will stabilize. The signal to the amygdala will become quiet. We talked about ACC in the brain yesterday. Until cingulate circuit, ACC. If we are aware of pain, the signal is sent to amygdala. But if we do compassion, that amygdala is quiet. Is quiet. So in plain language, we need to learn how to manage pain in life. There is pain in life. There are inconveniences in life. Okay, we need to learn how to manage them. In managing them, our life is a journey of emotion. We come to many crossroads during a day, within a day. We come to many crossroads. So we have to make the right turn, turning left. If we turn left, we come to compassion. So if we do this again and again, the neurologist has found that the neurologist has found I'm going to read from this book, The Science of Meditation, by Daniel Goleman, the author of Emotional Intelligence, and Richard Davidson, Professor Richard Davidson from Wisconsin. Two good friends who studied psychology at Harvard University in the 1970s and who practiced meditation at the Burmese Buddhist temple in Bodh Gaya, who started there. And since then, they have never turned back. I'm reading from page 109. One study found that just 7 minutes of loving kindness practice, just 7 minutes. We have done more than that yesterday. 7 minutes of loving kindness metta practice boosts a person's good feelings and sense of social connection, if only temporarily. Even 7 minutes has some effect. And the Davidson Group, Richard Davidson Group at Wisconsin University had found that after 8 or so hours of training in loving kindness, volunteers show strong echoes of those brain patterns found in more experienced meditators. You see? Karuna and Mudita, including metta meditation, is a shortcut. This is again commercial. And I'm trying to sell meditation that this is a lot easier. You should be doing this in the office every day. Before you go to work, after you return home, you should be doing this. The beginner's temporary wave of mellow feeling may be an early precursor of the most striking brain changes in people who practice loving kindness for weeks, months, or years. And consider a random group of people who volunteer to try web-based instruction. That you learn meditation from Google, from YouTube. Web-based instruction in meditation for a total of 2.5 hours. That is 20 sessions of 10 minutes each. You only practice 10 minutes meditation every day, but for 20 days. Altogether, 2.5 hours in total. This brief loving kindness training resulted in people feeling more relaxed and donating to charity at a higher rate than those in comparison group who did a comparable amount of light exercise like stretching. Pulling together findings from Richard Davidson's lab, among others, we can piece together a neural profile of reaction to suffering. Distress circuitry, the brain, you have many circuits, and they connect with each other. They fire the so-called distress circuitry connecting to the insula, including the amygdala, respond with particular strength, a pattern typical of anyone's empathy with other people's pain. The insula monitors the signals in our body and also activates autonomic responses like heart rate and breathing. And as we empathize, our neural centers for pain and distress echo what we pick up from the other person. And the amygdala signals something salient in the environment, in this case, the suffering of others. The science of meditation, how to change your brain, your mind, and your body. And so, if mindfulness in combination with karuna, quieting anger, dosa. If mindfulness plus mudita manage to shrink lobha, that's jealousy, greed, insecure feeling, and so on. Then, at some point, with the help of mindfulness, your karuna and mudita, compassion and joy, we have very little distraction. A little distraction means Karuna and Mudita, they are balanced. You will see the energy from both of them merging. That would be with the help of mindfulness, and that state of mind will be called Upekkha. So now, earlier I said if you buy 2, you get 1 free. Now a better deal, okay, a better offer. You buy 2, get 2 free. I think we have a little time, but we should still make it. We sit maybe about 5 minutes of compassion meditation. Just as yesterday, focus on any pain, any shortcoming that you have, and develop compassion for yourself. And then the second group, your loved ones. Trying to feel the pain that they have in their life and develop compassion towards them. The third group, neutral people. Just select one of them. Maybe in this meditation session, you can select someone who is not very close to you, with whom you have not formed any emotional connection, such as like and dislike. Trying to feel his or her pain and develop compassion. The last one, the person you feel irritated. The person you feel irritable whenever you have their presence, whenever you're in their presence, and include them into your compassion meditation, trying to feel their pain and then develop compassion.